Hey, welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. That's right. Welcome to the Friday Night Live show. I know it's a Friday here in Australia, but I thought I'd take you back to Graceland, And I'm going to look around a bit, and we're going to go a bit of an intro. Hey, I'm going to go to the dining room. See you soon. Hey guys, welcome to the Friday Night Live show. Welcome. It is going to be an awesome show. We're going to have some great fun. We've got some amazing special guests for you today. We've got the amazing, incomparable, the astonishing Mr. Dean Z is going to be live on the show. We've got Mr. David Lee as well coming live on the show. And direct from New Zealand, we've got Mr. Johnny Angel as well. They're all waiting in the green room at the moment. But as you can see with my background, I've actually taken you back to Memphis. Taking you back to Graceland. We all miss Graceland. We all miss basically Memphis week, or Elvis week, should I say. And we just miss all the competitions and everything about Graceland and Memphis as well. So let me take you back. Here's a bit of an insight into Graceland, actually in the house itself. Unbelievable. I really do miss that place. I really do. I really do. Now, we've got a very, very special guest for you first up. We're going to get him online. But before we do get him online, I want you guys to watch a little bit of a snippet of the man himself. Here you go.
Well, it's Saturday night and I just got paid. All about my money, don't try to save. My heart says go, have a time. But it's Saturday night, baby, and I'm gonna feel fine. I'm gonna rock it up. I'm gonna rev it up. I'm gonna shake it up. I'm gonna ball it up. I'm gonna rev it up. Pinball tonight.
Legend, please welcome live into the studio, and please a massive, actually, is he here? I'm not sure actually if he's here or not. One second. Yeah, he's in the green room. Is he ready? Okay, slow down. Okay. Yeah, he's ready. But what about Well, hang up on me again. Typical producers, isn't it? Unbelievable. All right, Legend, please welcome live to the studio. And please, I want you to make as much noise as you can from home. I know we can't hear you, but I want you to make some noise with Mr. Being comfortable, Mr. Charisma himself, Mr. Dean Z.
What's up, everybody? Stuey, you're nailing it, man. I can't believe it's broadcasting from Graceland, from the sitting room.
That's right, I know.
The whole house.
Directly from Graceland, mate. Directly from Graceland.
I love it, man. I love it. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm considering the circumstances, we're all stuck at home. We're all in this whole crazy situation together. But man, I'm telling you, there's something cool about being home, just kind of hanging out and being with my family and getting to chat with you via Facebook Live like this. This is incredible, man. Congratulations on a cool show.
Fantastic. No, look, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really do appreciate it. And the King of Cool, they call you King of Cool, to Mr. Charisma himself.
I've never heard that before. I like it.
King of Cool, mate. King of Cool. Now let's go. We'll go into the questions straight away. So now you started at the tender age of 3. You heard Elvis for the first time, and obviously you were hooked. Now, what actually did it for you?
Oh man, it's hard to put it into just one thing about Elvis. Because you're a huge Elvis fan. Me and you are both huge Elvis fans.
That's right.
I saw him when I was 3 years old on television, and my parents didn't really have any Elvis records or photos or anything like that in our house. In fact, my mom kind of comes from more like the British Invasion sound. She really liked the Beatles and that sort of stuff. And my dad was really into like classical music, Bach and things like that. He really liked that style of music. Super intellectual, like genius, man. And but like Elvis wasn't really part of our household. And he was on TV one day. I was 3 years old. Mom turned on the TV to kind of babysit me a little bit. That's what you did back in the day. There was no iPads. You just put them in front of the TV. And I just, Elvis was on there, man. It was like probably right around the birthday, I'm guessing January of '87. I'm 3 years old, and he's like magic. I just saw him, and I thought it was like a superhero because I remember the cape, and I remember it was probably it was some footage from a documentary called This Is Elvis, which is why the whole reason I get to do this is because of that documentary. I saw him, and I cleared off our coffee table in our living room, dude. And I just started dancing, and I started like shaking and doing everything I could to try to copy what I was seeing. And my mom thought it was a really cute, interesting thing. And so she had a little jumpsuit made for me, and I sang at my sister's school talent show.
Wow.
Jailhouse Rock. If you guys ever get bored, get on YouTube and type in.
I've got a snippet of it. So Benjamin, he's yes. So here's Mr. Dean Z at 3 years old. Here you go. Even at 3 years old, you're shaking and they're still screaming for you.
I mean, the charisma, right? The charisma. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, that was the first thing, man. I was shaking, and you're right. I was like, oh, I can get used to this screaming stuff. I like it when the girls are screaming at me. I thought that was really cool. And man, that was it. I've been shaking ever since that day. And still love it just as much, dude. I know you love it too. I mean, you're a great ETA, and we love that we get to pay tribute to the greatest of all time, Elvis Presley.
That's right, exactly right. So from there, obviously, you started growing into it, and you continued to Vegas. Is that right? You went on to Vegas from there?
Yeah, I grew up in Southern California, and I was 18 years old after high school. I moved to Las Vegas and started performing there, and in Laughlin, Nevada. And my brother and I moved there together, and my buddy Lance Lipinski, who does Jerry Lee Lewis, he's been over to Australia.
We're hopefully going to get him on the show eventually in the future as well.
I think you should do that, man. I think he would make a great guest for you. We all moved into an apartment, and we all shared one bedroom at one point. I actually had an air mattress. I think I was in the closet at one time. They had me propped up, and Daniel and them had there was maybe 10 square feet, and three of us were in this one room. And so, and I had $125 in my bank account. It's wow. It's crazy, man. And we just started hustling. We just started, doing every show we could. And we finally got a show at the Riviera Hotel, which is now a leveled parking lot. And we started doing nightly shows, and I just kind of started getting my bearings and really starting to develop what it's like to be an entertainer and making great connections and just kind of learning the craft on the job. I was a kid. Yeah. I don't know why anyone even hired me. I was terrible.
Well, you're not even close to terrible now, mate. You're amazing, absolutely amazing. Now, so in 2008, you had the honor of recording in the Memphis Sun Studios. Now, you used the same equipment Elvis used, and even replicated the pops and the crackles and so forth. But before we do go into that, here's a little bit of a snippet of Dean Z in the Sun Studios.
If you'll forgive me now, I'll make it up somehow. So happy we will be in a home just for three, and I'll soon forget her now. I know. Well, I thought I knew just what she'd do. I guess I'm not.
Absolutely beautiful. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Who is that young whippersnapper in that video? Who's this old man that I'm looking at now, man?
I know times change, don't they? But the years add on to us.
I got that quarantine gray going on, brother.
Do I, mate? I covered mine up this morning. So
well done. I need to learn the tricks, dude. Sun Studio is probably like, it's like a magical place, right? Like, you've been there. It's where rock and roll was created. It's hallowed ground for rock and roll and Elvis Presley, you know, and it's the big bang of music as far as I'm concerned. And so getting to be there, and I was 23, I just turned 23 when we recorded there, 2008. My brother is the guitar player on that. He's been doing some live videos with me lately. And
Danny, that's right. Yeah,
Danny. Yeah, man, he is such a great guitar player. And so, but we had that place to ourselves. We had it to ourselves for 3 days.
Wow.
And talk about eerie at sometimes, man. I mean, we had some really technical, glitchy stuff go on as well. Like, you know, like at one point the entire board crashed, and we were just like sitting around for 3 hours. They had to figure out what was wrong, and it was like, man, this is eerie, you know. And we're in there till 2 or 3 in the morning. And I remember I was laying on the floor looking up at the tiles of the room and thinking to myself, look at all the music that has been, you know, recorded here. And and just, I can't believe I'm in this place. I mean, I don't belong here, and I'm so grateful that I'm here re-recording his, you know, Elvis's content. And, you know, it was an experience that I'll never forget. And I think we're going to re-release it at some time. We've actually stopped putting it out there, but just because my voice has changed, my face has changed, you know, it's a DVD and CD combo. And so I had stopped selling it. And I think we're going to start putting it back out because a lot of people have been asking about it. And so I'm really proud of it. It's a cool capsule of time.
Oh yeah. It's just amazing. I've watched all of them as well. I've done a lot of, because I followed you ever since I started in the ETA world as well, and you're an inspiration to many, and a lot of ETAs out there are inspirations as well. But with yourself, you've traveled around the world, and you are an inspiration as well to many now. Now in 2013, I played these couple of snippets first. In 2013, you won a prestigious award of the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist World Title, sanctioned by EPE. Now, let us watch these segments, and I'll take you show you a segment after that. Just the high pitch, amazing. So that was the winning song, Jailhouse Rock, obviously in the UETA that Dean won. Yourself, Dean, you won, and this is the segment of you, the announcement, and you winning it there.
2013 Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist is
They're all screaming, Dean, 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 even before your announcement was on.
Can I say something, Stewie? Dude, I just got nervous. You playing that clip, my heart started pounding.
I did it really?
I just got nervous because, you know, we've all stood in that line. We've all stood in the line, and you know, to see who the name is. And I just got like sweaty hands, and I'm probably sweating right now. My heart's pounding. And, you know, a part of me, I still can't believe that ever happened, man. Like, it's just a surreal moment in my life that really changed the course of my professional career. And, you know, if that clip that you played before me doing Jailhouse Rock, I went for that movement. We call it like the pinwheel move, right? Like it's what Elvis did in Tupelo in '57. And I went for it. And my foot got snagged, my pivot foot, and I kind of tripped a little bit. I goofed it a little bit. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but if you ever go back, you'll notice like there's something, I stick to the ground or something weird happens. I thought at that moment, I was like, oh my God, dude, you just tripped. It felt so much worse than it really was. But I was like, you just tripped and you just completely, there's no chance in hell that you're going to win this thing at all. And here you are in like a black and white t-shirt and like, you know, like the Jailhouse Rock thing. And these guys are all wearing $4,000 suits. And my brother, Ben Thompson, is standing there with me.
Yes.
And my other brother, Jay Dupuis, Adam Fitzpatrick, and Diogo Light. Like,
yeah, that's right.
Look at the lineup of people we had on that stage. I was like, I don't even know how that happened, dude, but I don't know if I deserved it, but I'm grateful that it happened. And I'm really, really proud of that moment. And it was a huge growing experience. And it really was a blessing to my family, because at that point I had never seen a $20,000 check. I had never held that much money ever in my life. And that really gave us some financial freedom that really helped our family. And so I was grateful, very grateful to EPE for that. And I know that every year, man, someone's life changes at the ultimate. And I'm living proof of that.
Yes, you are. And you're loved by sight with thousands, millions of people out there as well. Now, obviously, after that well-deserved win, your career skyrocketed from there, and you performed in Las Vegas on the very same stage as Elvis did. Is that right?
I did, man. That was a cool experience. The very next year, 2014, I was awarded the 2014 Heart of the King Award. And the coolest thing about this, Stewie, is that at the performance, I did a performance like about 20-30 minutes. DJ Fontana played drums for me for about most of that thing. So here I am standing on the former Las Vegas Hilton stage, performing in Elvis's room that he sold out 800 concerts there, bro. It's like this is Elvis's place. And then I look back and I'm like, DJ Fontana is playing drums for me, and I forgetting words. Like, I was so in my own head about it, because I was really living a fan moment. I could not believe it, dude. And then you know, DJ was such a great guy, but he was also really like, he was living history, you know? So looking back, and I was performing all the early stuff. I was doing Jailhouse Rock and Heartbreak Hotel and things like that. Of course, DJ's on all those original records. And so it was like someone had to pinch me, man. I couldn't believe it was happening. And that was definitely a highlight, something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
No, that would have been amazing. And you're also a part of a cast of Elvis Lives, which was also a nationwide success as well.
Elvis Lives, I think Elvis Lives was the largest touring Elvis show in the United States. And it is the only Elvis show that was in association with Elvis Presley Enterprises as far as a tribute show is concerned. So, man, being a part of that cast, that had Bill Cherry, 2009 Ultimate Elvis Champion, Jay Dupuis, 2014 Ultimate Champion, myself, and before that, like Leo Days, great Elvis tribute artist, Kevin Mills, Victor Trevino Jr., all like really talented people. And so I had a chance to tour with them we toured 14, 15, 16, 17. We did 4 tour cycles with them, 5 tour cycles, 4 years. We went over to Singapore together as well. We did some international shows. It was the highlight, man. I mean, we'd roll in on these big like tour buses, and it's the only experience in my life where I've gotten to like live like a rock star when it comes to, here's a tour bus and you get to live on the bus, and then you show up at the venue and there's like someone there and they're making food for everybody and they're loading in all the gear. And man, it was just a cool experience. I never wanted it to end, you know, and I'm hoping that maybe one day we'll get to do it again, you know, but
and you know, you'll have a lot of support doing it.
I'm sorry, Stewie?
You'll have a lot of support doing it as well, you know, it will sell out, of course.
Yeah, man. We did we had 500,000 ticket sales. 500,000 people saw that show in the United States and Canada. And and so for us it was like Elvis Lives 500,000 Elvis fans, can't be wrong, you know, cuz everyone was supporting it. And I know that I speak for Jay and Bill, like we loved that show. Of course, my wife was in that show. We had great singers and dancers, great band. In fact, that band actually travels with me now on all my shows that I do, because we all became such great friends and great pals, and they're all so talented that we all stuck together, and I take them with me on all my band shows now.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, also, obviously, with winning the UETA in 2013, you are now a host and ambassador for Elvis Week as well for the past 5 years, and that's just an honor in itself as well. Unbelievable.
Well, I'm telling you, dude, you keep this up, you're going to be taking my job, man. You're pretty damn good at this. You're amazing.
I'll do all right.
You're doing great. Yes, man. And how much cooler does it get than to be an ambassador and also a contributor to the Elvis Presley estate in Graceland? Working hand in hand with the people that keep my favorite artist, alive and well and present in modern society. I mean, like Elvis Presley's timeless, right? But he lives on because we have this great place to go visit, and that's Graceland, and that's the archives and the brand new Elvis Presley's Memphis exhibit and all the cool stuff that you can see there on display. I mean, for an Elvis fan, it's like going to Disneyland. I've always thought that. And now it feels like Disneyland, because now it's larger than life, and that suits Elvis because Elvis was larger than life. So I'm looking forward to Elvis Week again this year, man. I'm hoping that everything's all cleared up and out of here by the time Elvis Week rolls around, so we can have a big party and celebrate.
Exactly. It's great. So what's your first show that's after, obviously, what's your next show if the COVID-19 all settles down and we all go back to normal, life goes back to normal? Obviously, your first show is going to be a huge sellout. It's going to be one big party.
Man, right now, everything is so up in the air. I mean, I'm sure it is there as well. We're having a lot of cases, and a lot of people are succumbing to this. So I'm praying for their families, and every number is an entire family mourning that person that's gone, And so I'm thinking about all that, but I'm also thinking about all the healthcare workers and all the frontline people that are keeping everyone alive and safe. I mean, thank God for these amazing workers that are it's literally saving the world right now. And so, but I'm hoping that, if things are cleared up by June, July, August, they're even saying some of these things. My calendar's completely up in the air. I mean, I've had more cancellations in the last few months and throughout these next few months than I've ever had in my entire life, for sure. And I don't remember the last time I've not done a show for three or 4 weeks, Stewie. Like, this is so different for me, and it's almost weird to sit still. I'm kind of my suitcase is always packed, and I'm always on the road. My wife is such an angel for being so cool and keeping the house rocking and holding down the fort when I leave on the road. But right now, man, we don't really know. I'm really hoping it's sometime in June. I'm hoping, I'm being optimistic. I really hope that we're back to rocking and rolling. It might be a little different than it was before, but I don't care, man. I just want to be on stage and sing Elvis's music and make
exactly.
Smile,
and obviously thousands of fans out there miss you as well. So obviously,
I miss them. I miss them so much. I miss the Elvis fans. I miss the feeling like, it's like a family, isn't it, Stewie? It's like we're a worldwide family, and it's incredible. Elvis brings us together. He is like this universal language of culture and everything. He brings everybody together, and so so I miss them like crazy. And for all the Elvis fans watching, I can see we have a bunch of people watching right now.
Yeah, I'm
hugging you guys.
400 people. So
I love it.
Fantastic.
I'm hugging you guys with my heart. Thank you so much for listening to Elvis, and thank you for supporting us and supporting live music. We appreciate it.
Now, you have the absolute honor of during the Elvis Week, you had the honor of meeting and interviewing some of the members of the TCB band, like Ronnie Tutt, James Burton. There's James Burton there with you now.
Oh, you got these pictures too. This is really cool. I'm a correspondent for Graceland for Elvis Week. I'm an official host for Elvis Week, and so I get to hang out with my childhood heroes. Here's Glenn Hardin, Elvis's piano player. And also Buddy Holly's piano player for the Crickets. A lot of people don't know that. Ronnie Tutt, of course, Elvis's drummer, also played drums for Neil Diamond for many, many, many years, and he's on the Black and White Knights Roy Orbison show. And a lot of people don't know he also played for the Grateful Dead for a few shows as well. Which is
that right? Okay.
Yeah, and this is very interesting. Ronnie Tutt used to like 76, 77, Ronnie Tutt used to go and do a Grateful Dead show covering for their drummer, and then come back and do an Elvis show. So it was like really, really interesting, totally different setups. And a lot of people don't know that Jerry Schiff actually played bass on the Doors record "L.A. Woman." If you go back,
Yeah,
and look
I
at
know. Yeah, I heard that.
I think you and I have even
yeah.
talked about this.
Yeah,
at
we
one
did.
time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
But it's so cool, man. Getting to hang out with those people, getting to interview them and talk to them about Elvis, and then also when the camera turns off, just talking about family and life, and
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
right.
what's life been like on the, since Elvis, and just personal connections and stuff with these amazing artists and great people. It's
Yeah,
like living a dream. I swear to God, it's
it is.
I'm such
Yeah.
so blessed, man, so blessed. Can't wait for the
Now
next
you
one.
have. Now you've had an amazing career, obviously an inspiration to many, as I mentioned earlier, like myself. Now you've had successful productions, including obviously the Dean Z Show. That's a picture on there now. Dean Z Show is an amazing show.
Thank
You've
you.
done Elvis the Rocker as well. I saw that show in Parks Festival. There's the advert for Parks Festival as well. Now, and you've got a documentary coming up as well. Is that correct?
We do, man. You know, like this time off has actually kind of forced me to look into the archives of my computer and videos that we've all, been collecting over the last 3 years. It's been like a snowball effect, just rolling downhill, and finally have a time to pause and breathe and look through all this cool stuff. So we've actually started putting together a really cool documentary from my time on the Elvis Lives tour, kind of documenting the day-to-day stuff as what we were doing on the tour, and then also kind of diving back into how I got there, like my life and the whole journey of becoming an ETA and living my childhood dream every day, all the way to a national touring, multi-million selling or grossing artist with Elvis Lives. So it's really cool, man. I'm excited about it. Right now we're calling it Beyond the Curtain. Don't know if it's going to be a working title or if we're sticking with it, but Dean Z Beyond the Curtain is what it's called for the moment. And and if anything changes, we're going to start putting up little clips of it real soon on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So I'm looking forward to it. But man, last time I saw you was Australia and Parks Festival, and that was so much fun, Stewie. And you always, like, people don't know this about Stewie. I'm going to brag on you for a second. All right. I just met this man for the very first time in Viva at Surfers Paradise. And I had just met him. He didn't know me from Adam, had no clue. And he was like, "Hey, Dean, I needed a couple guitars for the show because it was a long trip and I had many suitcases, couldn't bring extra guitars." Stewie was there. He had choices of guitars. Not only was going to loan me a guitar, he loaned me like every guitar. He loaned me like 2 or 3 different guitars, and he saved my hide out there. And that's the kind of dude you are, man. You're a great fella. And so thank you for doing that. That always stuck with me and resonated with me. So thank you for trusting me with a guitar, with your instruments, man. That was very kind of you.
And you invited me up on stage. We did a song together as well during Viva. So thank you for that.
We did. Yeah, man, we did. And you nailed it, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Now, if viewers, if you're watching now, if you've got any questions, we haven't got time for many questions, but if you've got any questions, please put those in the comments, and I will go through those in a second as well. Now, you
can ask me anything except why my hair is so gray, and I'll tell you why. Because I have a 6-month-old baby. That's why.
Well, that was my next question. So you have a beautiful wife, Stuey V, as well. She's a beautiful singer. And you have a gorgeous baby girl, Everly Joe. How is parenthood for you right now? It's
great. I'm not sleeping that much, but it's great. No, I'm just kidding. No, she sleeps really good, actually, man. She's amazing. My wife is a rock star. I can't even tell you. She has taken to being the greatest mom like a duck to water, man. She just jumped right in, and she is nailing it. I'm in awe of her every day, and Everly's learning so fast. I mean, she smiles at me and laughs, and I bite on her little ribs, and she's giggles, and she's just the sweetest, man. I'm so blessed with my family. And seriously, if there was ever going to be a time to be home for an extended period of time, it's these months, these early months, because you're seeing so much so many, switches turning on in their mind.
Yeah.
And I just love being a dad. It's it's the greatest job. It's the hardest job. It's the most rewarding job in the world. And I want to be a great dad because I had a great dad, and I want to set the same example that he gave me. So that's what I'm trying to do. I got big shoes to fill, brother, but I'm trying.
And you're doing well. She's absolutely gorgeous. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we've got a few questions that have come up in our comments. So we're going to throw those at Dean as well. Now, Judy comes on and she says, Dean, what is your favorite era to perform?
Hi, Judy. I love that. I can even see the comment right there. That's really cool.
Well, yeah.
My favorite era to perform. That's a hard question. It's like asking a baker what his favorite cookie is. I like it all. I think right now I've cut all my hair off because of quarantine situation, but I think my favorite era to perform right now is Elvis in 1969, his big return to Las Vegas in July. That particular era, like I kind of went deep into the detail of that particular era for my shows, and really tried to create the feeling. Elvis was like this high energy, just ball of electricity during that time, and it's different than the jumpsuit era. It's its own little piece, and the cool thing about it is there's very little footage available to study, and so we have to piece it together with images and imagination. And for me, it gives me a little bit of creativity, a little bit of creative license to implement my own energy into it and still sing those cool songs from 1969 and 70. So that currently is my favorite era to perform, but I love 68 too, like the leather. I think Elvis looked the best he ever looked in his life, 68, 69. Those 2 years, man, he was just unstoppable. He was fire. That's
in
what
his
I like
prime,
to say.
he was in his
fire,
prime.
baby. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm an ETA as well. I do the 50s and I do the 68 comeback as well, and the 69 Vegas, which is the 2-piece white leathers. So I don't go into the jumpsuit area. But you've done the jumpsuit area. I've seen you do the fringe suit, and you do it so well.
Thanks, man.
It's amazing. Yeah. So you've done very, very well.
It's brand new for me, Stewie, and so I mean, I very rarely. A lot of people haven't really even seen me do it, and. But for me, it's not about, I don't get nervous in the sense that like I'm scared to do it. I just, I want to do it justice, and I want to be as believable as possible. And now that I'm in my, I'm gonna be 37, I'm 36 years old, man. So like, I'm in the years where he was, that was the years that Elvis was like prime, so as a reality standpoint, now it is believable. If I would have done it like 10 years ago, maybe it wouldn't be as believable to the eye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because as a man, we change so much throughout our lives. And something about Elvis, that was the man, not the rebel, like youngster that Elvis was in the 50s. So I really want that to come across as authentic and true and real to me. And so that's what I try to do with that show, man. But we had a ball in Australia doing that. I did the 1969-70 show, and it was such a great time.
That was awesome. Now, the other question we've got is from Pearl Reeves Patrick. Do you have any original songs that you do? If so, what are some of the names of the songs?
Pearl, that's a great question. No one's ever asked me about my original music. And that's really thoughtful of you. Pearl, yes, I do have some original music. Same thing, like with this downtime, I'm going to start cranking it out. I've been writing songs since I was about 15 years old, and I've got a little collection of songs that I find to be really, really good out of those groups. Like there's probably 50 songs, but I think there's a strong 10 songs that I really feel are enjoyable to listen to. Like an artist wants their songs to be fun to listen to and also meaningful, and not, you never want to be embarrassed to hear your songs. So, but I've got some really cool songs. I've got a song. You guys can't steal these ideas now. I tell you these songs. I don't want no bullshit out there. I want to make sure that they stay my songs. All right. So I have a song called Hume's High, and it's about Elvis, 1954. I want to be like the guy from Hume Senior High in Memphis, Tennessee. And it's all about, it's a rockabilly song. It's really, really cool. It's about how he was, too cool, got kicked off the football team, really fun stuff like that. So I got Hume's High, really great tune. I have a really cool doo-wop song. and it's called Candlelight Eyes. It's about
Wow.
seeing the girl of your dreams in candlelight and just seeing that flicker in her eyes. Candlelight Eyes, a really beautiful song. And as turn off all the lights, it's really pretty. And then
So are these going to be debuted on Facebook? You can do videos. You can do.
We're going to do an original album. My friend Cliff Wright lives here in Branson, Missouri, and
Yes,
he's an amazing ETA. And he's got an analog studio, very, very similar to the Sun Records studio with tape. And all the digital stuff is kind of thrown away, and all the sound is very analog. And we're gonna record there and get some originals out there and start throwing them into the shows. It fits because it's of the era. It sounds like it came from the '60s, and so I think people are really going to dig it. And it's really highly influenced by Sam Cooke. And of course, there is some Elvis influence in there, but a lot of Beatles influence, Sam Cooke, Jerry Lee Lewis, that sort of stuff, Little Richard. And of course, the Five Satins, the Flamingos, a lot of doo-wop stuff like that.
Yeah, beautiful, fantastic. Now, Cheryl House has asked, Dean, if you ever had the opportunity to star in a remake of one of the Elvis films, which one would you hope to be in?
Oh my gosh, what a great question. And her name's Cheryl, is that right?
Cheryl House.
Cheryl, thank you for that great question. If there was one movie, man, this is tough. All right. So my heart says King Creole would be the choice, but I think my personal choice would be Jailhouse Rock, because Elvis is just so snarky in that. I have this desire to be play a bad guy on something. I think that Elvis in Jailhouse Rock, he's got a chip on his shoulder in the very beginning, and there's one line in there where Elvis says, "Honey, I don't know what the hell you're talking about." That scene.
Yeah. One of my favorite all-time movies, I tell you, really is.
He's so good in that movie, and so I think Jailhouse Rock would be one that I would love to recreate at some point in my life. Man, I better do it soon before I age out of that one,
Yeah, exactly right. Look, we've got a lot. We've got obviously the other guys waiting now as well. And
yes.
One last question I will ask is obviously Australia's had the pleasure of headlining you at the Parks Elvis Festival this year, which we hung out and we had an amazing time as well. Now, hopefully you'll be back in October for the Sydney Elvis Festival with Dwight Eisenhower. Is that right?
Yes. Oh man, we're so excited about that. There's a special feeling going to Australia and singing and getting to be there with my friend Dwight Eisenhower for his very first time in Australia. I think Australia's in for a treat, and I think everyone's going to fall in love with him because he is the real deal. He sings from the heart. Man, he's got a great voice. He's got great demeanor, and he loves the Elvis fans, and he loves what he gets to do, and so I'm really looking forward to performing with him and just watching the Australian Elvis fans just understand why Dwight is an ultimate champion and why he's always deserved to be. And he's gonna nail it, man. He's so great, and he's a good friend of mine. I love him. His whole family is amazing.
Definitely. Look, that's all we've really got time for at the moment, Dean. What everybody's online at the moment, we've got 400 people online. This show is obviously aired on my page, and if you haven't liked the page yet, this is a Friday Night Live show with Stuey V page as well. So make sure you go onto that page and check it out.
Everyone, make sure they follow Stuey. Follow Stuey and follow that page, because I'm going to be clicking on that page next and following him as well. And please tell David Lee that I love him, and he's an amazing.
I can put him on with you now if you want. I can get a.
Well, I don't want to eat into his time. I want him to have equal time, because he is so great. And please tell Johnny that I said hi and I love him as well. He's a great dude, and you guys are in for a treat for the rest of the show. Thank you so much, Stuey, for having me, and thank you for this great platform, man. I think all the
thank you, Dean. I really appreciate your time, ladies. If you want to follow Dean, check out his website. It's www.deanz.com, and just check out his website, his biography, his shows, like his Facebook page. And away you go from there. So just make sure you check him out. So once again, Dean, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. We'll definitely chat soon. Stay safe. All my love to Steffi and Everly Joe as well. And
thank you, Stuey.
Stay safe, brother. You take care of yourself.
Thank you, brother. Love you guys. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Legend, that was the incomparable Mr. Dean Z. Absolutely amazing artist. The next artist we've got a very special treat for you right now. Let me just go into his page. No, don't save that. Here we go. Here he is. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, now this is direct live from Birmingham, Alabama. We're going to go direct to this man himself. But before we do, let's play a little bit of a snippet of Mr. David Lee performing. Here we go. Wow, what a voice. I put my hat on for David as well. Look at that. Put the Stetson on. Legend, please welcome. Oh, and is he actually here? Let's make sure that he's actually ready. Let's producers. Let's producers. Yo, yeah, is he ready backstage now? Okay, we're going to get him ready. Okay, all right, fantastic. Yeah, is he dressed? Oh, he's not dressed. Oh, he's dressed. Okay, thank you so much. Hung up. They always hang up on me before I finish talking. I tell you, unbelievable. Legend, that's right. Please welcome live for you right now, and please a big round of applause and make some noise over there at home as well, because obviously no one can hear you, but we can hear you. Legend, please welcome Mr. David Lee. Now, David, we can't hear you. So your mic is muted. Yeah, we can't hear you.
All right, there you go. What about now?
We can hear you now.
Awesome, man. All right, we're doing makeshift here. I had a hard time getting a signal, but we're here, baby. We're here.
Birmingham, son.
That's it. Birmingham, always, man.
Look, I'll even put the Stetson on for you as well, mate. All right. So
I see that. Giddy up, cowboy.
Giddy up, boy. Giddy up. Look, thanks so much for coming on the show, David. It's been absolutely amazing so far. We just had the interview with Dean Z. You were backstage watching that as well, which is great.
Right. Yeah.
You, the 2015 UETA, just amazing. Now, you've been paying tribute to Elvis for 25 years now. Where did it all begin? 25 years. That's amazing.
Actually, it began with a guy that I worked with, and he was just a diehard Elvis fan. And I was in my early 20s, and I'd never been around anybody that just listened to one artist, and he only listened to Elvis. And so I asked him, I said, is that all you listen to? He said, what's wrong with that? And I said, well, nothing. I just never met anybody. So, and after weeks and weeks and weeks of riding to lunch with him, songs just started, ingraining themselves in my mind. And I said, oh, man, play Suspicious Minds again and play If I Can Dream. And It's Midnight. And next thing you know, I started collecting Elvis stuff. And to this day, I have over 10,000 pieces of Elvis memorabilia. And I'm in look at my TV, my replica TV room, man. I know.
I've got I'm in Graceland and you're downstairs.
I know, man. Yeah, I know. I couldn't let you one up me, but I got a feeling you can one up me. I know you. Mine's a real wall here. But anyway, so I got, like many people, when you take off on like an Elvis, you just can't get enough of it. And I couldn't get enough of it. I mean, anything Elvis, I bought it. If it was Elvis, and my wife would say, you already have How Great Thou Art on 8-track. And I said, no, I have it 10 times, but I'm buying it again. I have over 1,000 Elvis 8-tracks. I have probably 5,000 Elvis records. I've got guitars. I've got everything you can imagine. Anything with Elvis on it, I have.
Well, fantastic. Now, in 2015, you won the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Contest in Memphis, a world title, which is also sanctioned by EP. And Legend, take a very take a look at this. Take a look at this. Wow, what a feeling.
Hey, look behind me, Stuey. Look here.
You got the check as well. Unbelievable.
You have to keep the big check, you know.
For you
I've
as
also
well.
got a check from Tupelo. I don't know if you can see that. My little Tupelo check. Both of those, you know, as far as Elvis goes, to win in Memphis or to win in Tupelo, those are the top, man. I mean, that's as good as it gets. You know, that's the.
I had to do a check in the background for you, David. I had to do it.
I knew you would one up me. All right, listen. Before we leave, I'm just, you know, we're all quarantined. I'm missing Memphis, so if you could put some Memphis up there, that'd be awesome, man. Before we
would you like to see Graceland, or would you
there
like?
You go. Hey, that'll work, man. That'll work. Look,
there you go.
Big time. We're gonna start calling you Mr. Big Time.
Now, how was the feeling?
Real quick, I just was watching Dean, and you were mentioning that Dean and Dwight were going to be over for the Sydney Festival, and my regards to Dean. I heard him say hello to me. So hello, Dean, whenever you see this. Great to know you're doing well and the baby's doing good. Also, my friend Dwight Eisenhower. For those of you who don't know, Dean's right on it, man. He is the real deal. Dwight is as genuine as they come. Great voice, great person, great entertainer. He wears some great suits. Australia's in for a treat for sure.
Yeah, no, Dwight Eisenhower is fantastic. Dean's fantastic, obviously, yourself as well. But Dwight Eisenhower is great. He wears all the flashy suits, amazing suits he has.
Oh, yeah. He was one of the first ones to do the whole suit, you know, not just like a flashy pink jacket. He went with pink pants, too, or purple pants. And, you know, so he's got his own style, and that's pretty cool. You know, we're all trying to give a good tribute to Elvis, but in there you want to put a little of yourself, and that's his style. You know, that's his thing, and I commend him for it, you know.
Exactly right. Exactly. Now, you also won the 2012 Tupelo Elvis champ. You won the 2004 World Champion Images of a King. You voted the 2004 People's Choice Award, 2004 Collingwood Elvis Festival Pro Division and Concert Years, 2001 Canadian Grand Champion.
I'm turning as red as my shirt, man. Hey,
besides,
you know what that means? That just means I'm old, man. I've been around a long time.
So just like this goes on. So besides the UETA, of course, one of your the world title, what was the most memorable festival that you've had?
Well, of course, that's at the top of the list because that's the no pun intended. That's the ultimate stamp of approval, if you will. But the next probably would be Tupelo, right up there because that that's where Elvis was born, in Tupelo, Mississippi. So to be able to go there and have people that knew Elvis judge you and to come away a winner there is a big deal. So any guys out there that are watching that are maybe on the circuit considering a festival to go to Tupelo for sure. Also, Collingwood in its day was the world's largest Elvis festival. And that's so right. You would go there and there would be 100,000 people there. I mean, there would be an Elvis show at the Pizza Hut, an Elvis show at the theater, an Elvis show on the sidewalk. It was like nothing else I've been to, which unique is great. And so that one was a big deal. I won in 2004 in Collingwood, and also before the Ultimate, as you mentioned, the Images of the King, which at the time was the only one. So it was the Ultimate of its day. And so as far as I know, it's one of the things I'm proud of. I'm not a bragging person. I put my wife on here and she could do that for me, but I'm the only person, as far as I know, that's won them both in the same year. Now, there may have been somebody come along the last year or so done it, but for years and years and years, that was like unheard of. To win one of them was a dream, but at that time, but much less to win both of them in the same year. So God has really been good to him, good to me over the last 15 or 20 years. And I'm now, I have realized that, and I'm trying to be good back to him, and I'm trying to live my life for him and use those things to get the word out to people about God and just live a good life and try to entertain people the best I can.
Amen, brother. Amen. Amen. Yeah, I went into the Images of the King in 17. Obviously, when the UETA, and that was amazing. I got into the top 8 with all the boys on that one, and I was pretty happy about that one as well. Great. Now, obviously with the UETA now, you purchased your own plane as well. What's going on there?
That's actually my publicist's plane, but hey, what people? There you go. Yeah. Hey, that is my actual Cadillac, though. I'm about 100 yards from that Cadillac right now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's my publicist's plane. So yeah, but hey, advertisement, baby.
Now, going back to Tupelo, you mentioned Tupelo. Now, in 2014, you had a brick placed at the base of the famous Elvis statue in the main town. Now, in 2015, which is amazing, you actually modeled the statue in the birthplace. What an honor.
Oh, And that should be right at the top of the list too. And as far as non-competition stuff or really competition stuff, that to me is equal with winning the ultimate, because that'll be there long after I'm gone. And literally, the sculptor came to my hometown, and we went to my church in the parking lot, and we have a brick church, and we stood in the parking lot and we took that pose. I must have stood there for an hour and a half with him taking pictures of every inch of the Aloha suit that I had on. I can only imagine what people driving by thought. Here's Elvis just standing there posing in the middle of a parking lot with a guy taking pictures. So that as they say, I'll be etched in infamy forever there. So that's an honor that I don't deserve, quite honestly. But I'm so tickled to have it, and I'm very close with the people at the birthplace now. I've went over and helped them raise money to make improvements there. And they call me family, and it's true. We're like cousins or kissing cousins. No, not kissing cousins. Wait a minute. We're just real close. And I do a lot of shows at the birthplace. And let me tell you something, man. To have a bus tour come in from Kansas or Germany or wherever they're coming from, and we've done them all. And to have those folks come in and you be the entertainer at Elvis Presley's birthplace, man, it's humbling. It's a humbling experience, because deep down, like when you put the hat on, I'm just a guy from Birmingham, Alabama, who loves Elvis, and I'm living my dream. Even right now, talking to you, Stewie, you're helping it come true, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Look, Australian people love you, obviously, and they're enjoying the interview so far. And they've obviously quite a few people have seen you at the Viva Festival as well. Now,
it was my first time over, and I'm telling you, man, that was. Other than the 6 weeks it took to get over there, I felt like I swam across the ocean. Other than that part, man, it was great. That was a fantastic trip. And cross our fingers, we're coming back. So we'll be back this year.
That's right. So hopefully you'll be back this year. That's a photo of yourself and Diego Light in last year's Surfers Paradise. You both headlined the
Hey, I wish I was standing there right now, man. I tell you for sure.
And cross fingers that we do see you again, and we all do go to the Viva Festival. A lot of people are hoping, but let's just really see. They'll close down the borders here in Australia, you probably heard.
Of course,
so we don't go anywhere. So I'm stuck in WA, people stuck in New South Wales, and so it's very, very hard. So that way,
thanks to the wonderful world of technology, and bless your heart, you don't have you barely can even connect with me with that little setup you got. I'm sitting there holding a cell phone, and you've got a complete studio there, man. I'm just envious of you like you wouldn't believe. It's amazing, man. I wish you all the best in this endeavor.
It's taken me weeks to set this up, but what I wanted to do was obviously with the COVID-19 going on, nothing's happening in the entertainment world. So I thought, a lot of the ETAs are going live. I go live on Monday nights. Of course, I do a show. I do tribute and trivia night on Monday nights.
Right.
But on Fridays, I thought, we have to do something different. So that's why I thought I'll get a lot of ETAs on board, and celebrities are going to be coming on board as well to do the talk show. So I've got a surprise that's going to be happening in the next few weeks, and a lot of people are going to be very, very surprised at some of the celebrities that are going to be announced as well. So, and this will be an ongoing thing. It won't just stop now. It will be ongoing after COVID-19 as well. And we'd love to have you back on as well eventually in the future.
Hey, you just make the call and I'll be there, man. I think the world, as we would say in Alabama, Stewie, you're good people. That's what we would say. Even though when I was a kid, I didn't understand that. My dad would say that, well, he's good people. I was thinking, he's only one person. How could he be people? But when you get older, no, I'd be tickled to be back on anytime you want, man.
Fantastic. Now, listen, also you portrayed Elvis in some live footage in a documentary, Duke and the King. It was a documentary about Elvis's bass player, Duke Bardwell.
Right,
Hear Elvis introduce him to a few of the live concerts as well. How was that for you?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing to be able to do that. Of course, Jerry Schiff was the main bass player, but on a lot of the what we call bootlegs, or the ones that you can get on FTD, when Jerry couldn't make the show, they would use Duke Bardwell. And so to be part of that, I've been fortunate enough to work with a handful of people that were on the stage with Elvis, the Sweets and some of the Stamps. And of course, I knew a lot of the bodyguards and stuff over the years. But, to be on stage with anybody that played with Elvis is just amazing. I mean, it really is. Like I said, again, I'm just a big Elvis fan myself. And for that to happen is just unbelievable, And you only live once. So and those guys, unfortunately, they're not getting any younger. So those opportunities are few and far between.
Yeah, that's right. And it's when I come over to the US, I've met Billy Stanley, I've met Linda Thompson, I've met
Right,
all those
yeah.
guys, and I had the pleasure of hanging out and having a very close friendship. Rest in peace, Miss Louise Smith as well.
Yeah, yeah. Just lost
She was,
her.
she's just loved to bits. Now, also, you were featured in a few books as well. The 2011 Next Generation of Kings by Joseph Clow and Teresa
Right.
Winston. You're featured in that book, number one. And the other book you're featured in is King for a Day, which is by Aaron Feenberg. The list goes
Look
on.
at
Is there
that
any?
good-looking guy on the cover of that book, man.
Let's show that
Good-looking
again.
guy that is. Wow. Hey, and here's a quick fact. That suit, that's the old Indian, or the Indian chief, as somebody called it. I actually made that suit myself. That's a full embroidered suit, because when I first started, I couldn't just run to the big suit makers and spend $4,000 on a suit. And I noticed some other guys had them, and I was like, man, I want one of those. And we didn't have the means to do it. And so I literally sat down one day and I drew that off, and we bought a little sewing machine, and I started learning how to embroider. And literally to have that suit on the cover of a book, I've won some competitions in that suit. And a lot of the suits that I wore in the first 10 or 15 years of my career were ones that we made. Suits that I won in Collingwood and in the Images of the King were suits that me and my mother had made. And I did all the decoration and embroidery work and all that. So that's something. I still have guys now ask me, hey, can you make me a belt? Can you do this? I don't have time anymore. I wish I did, but luckily, under normal circumstances, obviously we're on the road doing shows, so I just don't have the time. So much like everybody else now, I just buy the stuff, which is great. There's some good suit makers out there.
Well, you can maybe do it now. You've got a lot of time on your hands at the moment.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
do take a couple of little belts.
I was thinking about that earlier. I thought, well, I could make that belt I've been wanting to make myself now for sure. So
I might be missing you. I might want a belt, so I might message you. All right.
You got it.
Now, obviously, you're a bit of
believe it or not, I actually, because I'm just the way I am about Elvis and stuff, I started collecting the real pieces that went on Elvis's belt buckle. So, in the early days, man, you just throw some stars and stuff on there and whatever you had laying around. Well, now, of course, you have to have the right stuff. But I actually tried to get just like exact replicas of the ones from the same time frame that Elvis had. And I've got a huge collection of those. And the guy out in Vegas that makes belts used to call me and say, hey, I need this buckle. Can I get it and make some copies and then, make some belts for people? And so a lot of people's running around with my belts on. But you know what? That's what we do, man. The Elvis world, we help each other. That's what we do.
That's right. Exactly right. It's like, have you heard Dean earlier? When he came over Viva, he needed guitars and he had the choice of guitars. So that's what we do for each other. We lend them guitars,
Absolutely.
we lend them this, lend them that, and we all look after each other. That's what it's all about.
Well, and I believe everybody says that, and it's true, but I don't think anybody ever elaborates why that is. Because here's why. I came to Australia this last year for the first time. Well, there you are backstage. I don't know you from Adam, but I know what you're about because I see where you are, what you're doing, your costume. Don't think I don't remember either. That white jacket, man, like the white leather with the black and white belt. You were rocking it, man. And not a lot of people might have known what that was, but I knew what that was. So which is cool. That's kind of why. Because I'm like, I get this guy. I understand what's going on here. You share the same love for someone that I do. And so we automatically have a bond that just connects most of us. Now, there's some guys that ain't that way, but for the most part, when you can see another ETA for the first time and you almost feel like you know them. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of guys I met the first time and we just connected straight away, which is fantastic. Now, you're also a bit of a joker as well, I see. I had to put this phone on.
Hey, that's my cousin Jethro, man. I don't know that. How you out like that? I don't know. That was over at in Helen, Georgia, at Jeff Lewis and Friends. They had every night they would have dress up. And so I was the new guy. And so I said, man, I don't know what I'm going to. So I actually stopped on the way and bought some stuff. And I just threw that together. That was a lady's hat, some overalls that were about 6 inches too short. When I got there, I just put that stuff on, trying to make a costume so I would look like I was fitting in. And next thing you know, man, here comes this redneck guy out of me. That all these clips of stuff I've seen over the years and comedians and stuff, it just kind of erupted out of me. And man, that's probably the most fun I've had at an Elvis Festival in years. So since all this happened with the COVID-19, I told my wife, I said, you know what? I think Cousin Jethro needs to make a video, maybe to cheer some people up. So I've got to use around my property here. And so I got on that tractor and we did a video and just cut up. You know, I'm one of those people that if you can't have fun, man, why do it? Life is too short. I love to cut up. I like to have a good time. I'll joke sometimes, probably when I shouldn't, but sometimes it's just it eases the mood between if there's a tense situation. A good laugh, man. That's the best medicine. There's nothing better than that. And
Exactly.
I'm the first one to make fun of myself. I dressed up as Ric Flair one time. Woo! So you know, whatever works, man.
And we've got to get Jeffrey on the show one day. You've got to do a walk around the farm. We'll do a live feed with Jeffrey. We will talk about that
for sure. Then he's an old country boy now. You got to watch him.
Now, obviously,
people think, you know, when you say Alabama and you're not from this part of the world, you think, oh man, I bet he lives in the country. I actually live in Birmingham. It's a city of 1 million people, so I don't live in a 2-room shack and, you know, a house. But I can drive within 5 minutes and be downtown, you know, metro area, restaurants, nightlife, all that stuff. 5 minutes one way and 5 minutes the other way. I can be riding my bike past horses in the field and just as beautiful scenery as you could. So I love it here, man.
Beautiful. And it's obviously only about 3 hours away from Graceland as well.
Yeah. And so 2 hours from here to Tupelo is 2 hours, and then about another hour to Graceland. So I'm very fortunate in that aspect.
Wow, fantastic. Now, obviously, viewers, if you've got any questions, please put the questions in the comments and we'll go through those in a moment as well. Sure. Now, obviously, you've got your own original song, which is available online.
Right. Yeah. Journey to Graceland. It's a song we've had out for probably, I guess it came out in 2005 or so. And it's a song about a guy's trip to Graceland. And it's a cool song. You give it a listen. I think you'll enjoy it. You know, it doesn't mention the guest house because it was recorded before then, but it mentions all the landmarks that someone would see in Memphis if they were to go, you know, for the first time. Maybe they had heard about stuff. And so this guy is kind of singing about his trip to Graceland. So it's just kind of a, you know, just a novelty song, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we've got a lot of people saying hello to you as well. Saeed, someone said, hey, David.
Hey,
Saeed
from
Chicago.
Yeah, I know him. Hey, look out for that guy as well. Saeed, I judged him in Tupelo. Another honor, man. They allowed me to judge the youth competition this year in Tupelo at the Elvis Festival at the birthplace. And Saeed, he didn't win. But I'm telling you right now, man, he has the gestures, the look, the moves, the suits, the voice. He has the whole package. And I may be wrong. I think he's 16, but he's along in that area of age. So what a great thing for the Elvis world. Here comes another guy with the talent to carry this thing on another, you know, long after I'm done and maybe even after you're done, Stewie, who knows? You know, a lot of the guys now, man, because of the internet and stuff, they get a much faster start than what we were able to get. And I think it's great. I love it. And you can ask any young guy, I always offer help to him. And literally that day, he had cut his hair just a little too short. So the other guy edged him out by maybe a point or so. But, man, he very well might end up winning the ultimate one day. And that's the truth. And I mean,
yeah, we'll keep an eye out for him, definitely. Now, Gay Collis says, hi, David Lee.
Hey, Gay, how are you? She's been watching some of our live feeds. Hey, Gay, how you doing?
Christina Galvin obviously said hi as well.
Hey, Christine.
Now, Gay, obviously, now Vicky and Ron. It's Vicky and Ron's.
Vicky and Ron Moss, yeah. Yeah, I met those guys in Australia. Vicky actually scolded me when I got to Australia. You know, I'd never been there. And here comes this lady. And she said, I am so mad at you. And I was like, well, I just got here. I haven't even talked to anybody. She said, I've been trying to friend you on Facebook for 3 years. Well, of course, you know, Stewie, we get so many people. And early on, I wasn't a big tech person. So I told my wife, I said, I've got all these people. I don't know a lot of these people. She said, I just friend everybody because a lot of them see you at shows and stuff. So I just hit accept. Well, I run out of room. So I have 5,000 friends. And so I literally at all times, I have at least 1,000 people waiting to get on the friends list, which is great. But of course, I skipped Vicky ahead after that little conversation we had. That night I went back to the hotel and I jumped her right ahead of everybody. She looked mean. I didn't want to make her mad at me anymore. But they're great folks. They're big supporters of Viva, and I know a lot of the guys down there. I know they're big Elvis fans, and that's what this Elvis world's all about is people like Vicky and Ron.
Was Vicky and Ron? Vicky's one of the ambassadors for the
Yeah.
Viva Festival, as well, which is great. And it's also their wedding anniversary today as well. So,
Oh, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, Vicky and Ron.
now, obviously, Gay Collis has come on. It would be awesome to have cousin Jeffro do it, Stewie. So we're going to have to do this little segment, one of the shows one day. We'll have a chat about it. We'll go live to you over to cousin Jeffro. And in maybe a couple of weeks, and we'll do like a 10-minute segment.
You got it. You just let me know, and we'll put him on here. I like I said, now I'm warning you, he's country as cornbread, so you got to watch him. He's liable to say anything.
So now Scott Anderson has asked, what's David Lee's favorite Elvis song?
Oh wow, man! You know, without even thinking about it, I know a lot of the guys go, "Promised Land" is my absolute favorite Elvis song, and here's why: because even now, 30 years after hearing it, every time it comes on, man, I get this big smile on my face, and I reach down and crank it up. It rocks. It is a true rock and roll song, and it has been very good to me in the ultimate competition. Every time but one, I sang Promised Land, and I stuck with it because it was my favorite song. And I told my wife, I said, I'm going to stay with it. It's my song. I feel the most comfortable with it, and I sang it in the thing. Very close second for me would be Unchained Melody, which I think you played a little clip from.
Yeah, that's right. Beautiful. That gave me shivers when I heard that. Unbelievable.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. You know, in the ultimate competition, you're not allowed to have any props. You know, you can't play the piano or anything because, you know, there's a video of Elvis, and that's why I love that song so much. Elvis was great. I mean, you never seen him bad. Even at his worst, he was still better than everybody else. I mean, it's just the truth. That's just the way it is. God put us a gift here in Elvis, and there'll never be another one. But that clip of Elvis sitting at the piano in the sundial suit, playing Unchained Melody, his emotion, his passion, his talent, and he wasn't in the best of shape, but that just, every time I see that, even to this day, I mean, it's like, wow. And so my thought was, if I could just get a little of that magic, just a little grain of that relayed to the audience at Ultimate, I would have a shot. And so that was my very first song. That was the year I won. That was I just went out. I said, you know what? I'm swinging for the fence right out of the gate. And a lot of people say that's what won it for me. I don't know. Of course, there was a lot of songs after that. I think we did Fever and My Way, which of course is a great ballad. A lot of people identified with Elvis on that. And then we did America the Beautiful, The Cape, and all, you know. So a lot of things transpired to make it happen. But Promised Land, Unchained Melody, 1 and 2 for me always. And depending on the day, they might even reverse, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Now, obviously, we've got a few more questions going on here as well. Becky Bullis has said, "What is your favorite jumpsuit?"
Who asked that again?
Becky Bullis.
Okay, my favorite jumpsuit is the Gypsy, and that's a love it or hate it suit. But I love that one, and the people that love it, and the people that hate it just hate it. Some people don't even like it on Elvis, but that kind of makes me like it even more because it's different. You know, not so much now, but in the old days when I was competing at all these preliminaries and stuff, I would take the Gypsy because I would know there would be nobody else there with it because most people either didn't have it or they didn't like it and they were never going to have it. And so that would be my number one. The Tiger is probably a close second. The fans love that Tiger suit. And then probably the Peacock. That's, you know, that's rumored to be Elvis's favorite. It's a beautiful suit. But you know what? I'm a fan of the suits, like I was saying about the belt buckles. I get a kick out of them because you try to figure out why this one and why that one. Chances are they just designed what they wanted and sent it to Elvis, and he said, "Yeah, sure." You know, we don't know the reasoning behind some of those, other than the American Eagle, which he asked for something patriotic. You know, most of the others were probably just from the mind of the designers there. But man, they come up with some great stuff. Look back, you know, a lot of people, oh, it was the 70s and all. But look at some of the other 70s groups, Donnie Marie and other groups that are great and famous people. But if you look at their jumpsuits, theirs tend to look like they're the band. You know, the band had a jumpsuit, but theirs wasn't quite as nice, and it didn't fit as well, didn't have a big theme on it. Elvis, man, even on the jumpsuits, it just is like he just was better than everybody else. I mean, he was, my mama says, when you got it, you got it. And he had it, man. I mean, he had it in spades. He had it more than anybody, you know, which, you know, at the time, I'm sure people, but look at all the lives he's influenced, me and you and Saeed and other guys that it's going to be doing this for years. And Elvis's life is 42 years, but really his life will be forever. You know, his life is never going to end. His memory will never die, man.
Never, definitely not. The thing I love about his jumpsuits as well is a little bit of information for the viewers as well is his Phoenix jumpsuit. Now, if you actually turn it upside down, it's not a Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's actually two zebras face
Yeah,
to face.
it's weird. Yeah, find a picture, for the fans out there, find a picture of that and turn it upside down, and you're like, whoa. But the story is that Elvis seen that and said they handed it to him and it was upside down. And he said, man, that's a funny looking bird. So quickly they adapted it to be a bird because they didn't want to offend him. And so that was it. But early on, before I knew that story, I always wondered, I thought, why does this bird suit have zebra stripes on the belt? Why does it have that? That's just kind of strange to me. And then you hear the story and you're like, then you flip it over and you're like, oh man, yeah, you get it. I'm surprised nobody has made one upside down, and kind of made it like, quote unquote, what the original one should be like. So, hey,
obviously we all try and authenticate as much as we can about his Elvis.
I'm actually going to do, because I'm very fortunate over the years. I'm one of those people. If I get something, I keep it. And so I have currently I have over 50 jumpsuits, not counting the Black Lead, the Army, all the other stuff. So I keep all the suits. Of course, Elvis had over 100. I think it's like 118. But my next one, we're having one made now. But my next one that we have made, I'm going to go with that unfinished suit that you see at Graceland. There's not much information about it. A lot of people don't like it either. They're like, that's just weird looking. But I'm going to go with that. It's in Graceland, so it has to be somewhat legitimate. So that's going to be my next one, I think. Nobody has that I know of. So that, and the fringe deserve that kind of stuff. The fringe is great. The concho is great. The aloha is great. But, everybody has that. So I try to, go a different route and show them something that they may not see. Of course, I have it. I wear the fringe, so I'm not putting it down. I don't mean that in any negative way because I love it too. It's hard to beat Elvis, and that's the way it is with the fringe or the concho knocking it out. That was some of the best stuff ever. But there was more to Elvis than just that. There was a lot. There's a lot of footage of him out there. There's footage of him in that tiger and gypsy suit. Of course, a lot of it in the sundial, the Arabian. So you're starting to see some more of those suits come out now because as time goes on, I think other guys are kind of like me. They're like, man, let's show something different. Elvis was more than that. So, and like I said, the suits are all beautiful. Every one of them are gorgeous.
Fantastic. Now, obviously, I'll throw one more question at you as well. Okay. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look what people are asking. They're all saying hello, all saying hi.
Well, hello,
Ian
everyone.
Hello, Ian George said, David, the next time you're in Australia, it would be great to do a photo shoot with you and Stuey. That would be good fun. That'd be very, very good fun.
Absolutely. And that was the other great thing about when we were at Viva, because we came in the weekend before I performed. So a rare opportunity for me and my family. We actually got to be tourists for almost a week, which in this business, as you know, is very rare. I've been everywhere, but I hardly have time to see anything because we're in for the show and then we're out again. Or maybe you have one day and you're in a city like San Francisco and you can't see everything in one day. But, not complaining. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wish I was flying in and out of somewhere right now. But that was great about Viva was because we actually got to go and enjoy and take time. There was several car parades and car shows. We did all that stuff. And of course, ate all the different kinds of food. So I'm down for a photo shoot anytime. Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to take you up on that offer. The last question is Norm Yolanda Dodds has said, what do you like about Australia?
Oh, everything. You know what? I just can't get over how funny y'all talk. Y'all talk awful funny down here.
I am from London. Come on, I talk in a London accent.
Yeah, well, hey, from a guy from Alabama, you can't hardly tell the difference, man. But I always get a kick out of that. When I leave the South, if I go to Michigan or, Maryland, people's like, you try to talk like Elvis all the time? I'm like, I'm not trying to talk like Elvis. This is the way we talk. I was born 150 miles from Elvis, so that's just the way we talk around here. So I often cut up about everybody else talking funny. So, but it's the beauty of Viva was unbelievable. I wasn't prepared for that. In my mind, I thought, okay, I'm going to Australia. I'm going to see some kangaroos. I'm going to be out in the desert somewhere, a bunch of red dirt. And then you get there and it's a beautiful beach and just everybody was so nice. And I was a little skeptical of myself because I thought, well, these people aren't going to, they don't know me. They don't know who I am. And I'm sure they got their favorite guys. But when I got there, I realized one thing that I should have remembered all along. We're all just Elvis fans. They realize that I'm not Elvis. I realize that I'm not Elvis. I just try to do the best I can. And in turn, I met some great people like Vicky and Ron and all those folks we were talking about earlier. Some great people that I still keep in contact with today, and hopefully we'll see them again in a few months.
Yeah, hopefully we see you as well. Now, obviously, you do besides for the Elvis tribute artists, you also do Jeffro, cousin Jeffro,
Right?
But also you've got a show coming up online, Conway Twitty.
Absolutely. You know, I've been doing Elvis for 25 years. This is my 25th year of actually paying tribute to Elvis. Of course, been a fan longer than that, but we've been paying tribute to Elvis for 25 years. About 2 years on the Conway. One time at Tupelo for a New Year's Eve show, I told my wife I always do something different. And that year, you know, this was months in advance, I said, you know, what do you think about me doing somebody different? Well, of course, her jaw hit the floor because all I had ever sang was Elvis, really. I mean, maybe a karaoke night or something, you know, something here or there. But for, you know, as far as doing a show in front of people, Elvis was it for me. And Conway, his voice is great. He sings with such emotion. It was an easy choice to pick him, but you know, it's same style. He don't sound like Elvis, but his voice is in the same range and stuff. And I fell in love with it, to be honest with you. It's been so much fun, and I'm meeting new people that, of course, I have my fans and fans around here say, well, you know, I still like Elvis. I'm like, oh, that's great. I'm not asking you to choose. If you like Elvis and you only want to come to Elvis shows, that's great. I'm not quitting doing Elvis, but I'm going to add this to the repertoire. And so now I have some of the fans that can't decide which one they like. And then I've also met new fans that are just Conway fans that I never met anyway if it hadn't been for that. So it's been great on that aspect, and learning, you know, I'm just kind of when I see something, I don't really like, okay, let me rewind that and see how he holds his hand or whatever. I'm one of those people, I just watch it so much, it ingrains in me. Like I never practice for an Elvis show. I never rehearse. I never do any of that stuff. It's just from miles and miles and miles of listening to Elvis songs in the car on a trip, or, you know, watching Elvis movies or something. You just know it. You know what I'm talking about. It's there, you know. And I don't even know how many songs I know, but literally there's with Tom Brown is MC for the Tupelo Elvis Festival. He has his own festival here in Nashville. Tennessee.
we're hopefully gonna get Tom Brown on the show in the next few weeks.
He'll be a great guest. He knows everybody in the Elvis world. Like, he knows everybody. And it's amazing how many people he's met in the Elvis world. But anyway, he always refers to me as like the lyric songbook. Like, hey guys, if you have a problem, go to David Lee. He knows all the words to everything. That's not true, but it's a great compliment. I don't know everything, but I've heard him so many times, you know. So the Conway thing, I just watch it and watch it. And I'll put my headphones on at night. I'll put Conway on, or I'll put Elvis on. Sometimes George Jones. I enjoy seeing, you know, the big boys, if you will. I enjoy seeing how they done it, man. You know, that, you know, we all have our own style, and man, they were stars for a reason. You know, they were the big names for a reason.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, I thank you so much for your time, David. I really do. Ladies, if you want to follow David on the page on his website, please check him out. It's on www.davidleerocks.com. You'll be able to find his song on there as well. You'll be able to look at where his shows are when obviously COVID-19 slows down. And then basically we're going to take it from there. So make sure you follow David online. We're going to get him back eventually in the future. Obviously, we're going to get his cousin Jeffro on the show as well one day.
That's awesome, man. Hey, Jethro's going to be a star of his own before it's over, I'm telling you. Yeah, hey, as of now, of course, everybody can follow us online because we can't go anywhere. So, but that's, you know what? I'm considering that a blessing, because I'm getting to get new fans that may not have ever came to a Conway show, or maybe some folks in Australia that don't have the opportunity to do it. So it's going to be great, man. This is, you know, that for every bad thing, something good is there. So we're trying to find the good in all this.
Exactly. Look, thank you so much for your time once again, David. You've been absolutely amazing. You've been an amazing guest. I really do appreciate your time and coming on the show as well. You know, we're going to get you back on obviously in the near future, and all the best to the family. Please stay safe. And the Australian people love you, and hopefully we're going to see you at Viva very, very soon.
Well, let me say this real fast. You know, of course, everything going on in the world is crazy right now, but God's going to lead us all through this. Just stay the course. I feel for the ones who've lost someone, but other than that, you know, something good will come out of this. We'll all be stronger. Everything will be back to normal, and this will be a memory one day. But with that said, Stewie, if you're going to do a show, to the caliber you're trying to do it, you probably should get some good talent. I mean, these two scrubs that you've had on first. I mean,
Get out.
this Dean Z guy that nobody's ever heard of. I mean, you don't have to dig a little deeper. I mean, and then get me some dinosaur. What about? Here's an idea. I mean, I don't know. You know, when I was down there, I was walking down the street. I don't remember the name of that street, but there were guys performing. You probably know the name of the street there. It's kind of blocked off, and the guys were performing during the week. Anyway, so there was this guy, and he just, and I never seen him, and I said, man, that's a great looking man. He looked kind of like The Rock, you know. He was just one of those. You couldn't help but to, and here he is singing Elvis, and of course all the ladies are just swooning over him. So instantly, I didn't like him, you know. No, I'm kidding. So I said, man, he's great. Of course, my wife was just taken back by him. And so I was like, man, I want to meet this guy. Well, of course, coming and going, I didn't get a chance to talk to him. With it, like there he was again, singing again, and just more fans the next night, you know. And so he sang probably 4 of the 10 nights that I was there. I seen him somewhere singing. Well, on the final night, I got to actually meet him at the after party, that is incredible, that after party. I don't know if he was able to make that, Stuart. That was incredible.
The other man
I'm referring to, he's a super talent, a super great guy, and maybe one day, if you get smart, you can get him on the show. His name is Johnny Angel. And
I like your style.
That's a true story. That's a true story.
I like your style. It's great.
It's all about the setup. Stewie, listen to me. I think you're a class act. I wish you all the best in everything you do. And I would be mad at you if one day we don't do a show together.
Oh, no, definitely we will. That's going to be in the future, most definitely.
I believe that, brother. All right, man.
Thank you, David. Take care. God bless and stay safe.
You. Goodbye, everyone. Take care. TCB.
See you, buddy.
All right,
TCB, bro. That was David Lee, the UET Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist winner for 2015 world title in Memphis. Now, we have a very special guest for you right now coming on, as David introduced him. He's an amazing ETA. He's a fantastic guy. And this guy here, obviously, he's a very, very good friend of mine. I've known him for a number of years, and we've just built a very, very close friendship as well, so which is great. Here's a little bit of a snippet of the man performing.
For I love you more today than yesterday. But I love you less today, less than I will tomorrow. You're my Hawaii sweetheart.
They love him. They love him, Mr. Johnny Angel. Is Johnny ready backstage in the green room? Can the producers give me a... Oh, that's the producers now. 1 second. I'll just... Yeah, he's ready now. He's been watching the whole show. So he's been sitting backstage patiently. Okay, no worries. I'll get him on. Thank you. Yes, thanks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome live to the studio, and please make some noise for him as well. We're obviously going to get the studio make a round of applause for him as well. Mr. Johnny Angel.
Thank you.
Show a lot of love, Johnny. Show a lot of love.
Much love to you, Stuey V, and the family of Elvis and everyone else.
Thank you, Johnny, for coming on the show. Yeah, I really do appreciate it. One of the nicest guys that I've met and resides in Auckland, Auckland, New Zealand. And thank you so much for coming on the show. And welcome. Pacific Elvis, they call you.
Yes, they call me Pacific Elvis. It's something that it was just more of a, I believe, just a tribute also to, of course, Elvis, the one and only, and also to Pacific people around the world, and of course in New Zealand, with a big Pacific population, the Tongans, Samoans, Fijians, and everyone. So just much love. There's a lot of Elvis fans in the Pacific, so much love to them. And once again, hey, Stuey V, I was just watching behind the scenes in the green room, and the things that they were saying, the Dean Z, absolutely fantastic, and also the man himself, David Lee. he's just got. It was just an honor to meet them, and I was just wondering why am I on your show? Yeah, with these guys, they're like the ultimate Elvis champions.
You're a very good artist. You're very don't doubt yourself there, Johnny. You're a very good artist at what you do, and you know everyone loves you, and you very much love that there as well. But where did it all begin for you? Like, where did it start for you?
Oh, for me, it was my family, my parents. I was about 9 years old. They played a record to me. It was an Elvis record. It's called Something for Everyone. And when my mum and my dad, when they played the Elvis records to me, I kind of, I was going, oh wow, I really enjoyed the music at a young age. At school, I used to sing some Elvis songs at school, and used to have the hairstyle, and used to get bullied at school. But it was all right. It was fine. They just used to tease me, you're trying to act like Elvis, and there was just throughout the years, my mum and dad used to play, the videos, the movies of Elvis, the GI Blues, Viva Las Vegas, also Blue Hawaii. Watched all the Elvis movies, and I just really enjoyed it. And that was every Sunday. That was like we used to go to church, and then after that, go to church, then we'll watch the Elvis movies. Yeah, that was great.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, obviously, you are Samoan and Chinese heritage. Is that right?
Yes. I was born in New Zealand, so yes. I'm happy to be, the Kiwi. I'm a Kiwi. Yes. If you don't know that, it's too much love to all the Australians. And also my parents are Samoan, and I am proud to be of the Samoan heritage. And my great grandfather is Chinese. So, yeah.
Right. Okay. Now you won recently. You won the 2018 Elvis Down Under competition in New Zealand, and you're also a top 10 finalist in the UETA Viva Surfers Paradise Festival as well. And obviously, you've done that every year. So explain the road to those titles. Like you've obviously gone through the ups and downs and so forth.
Yeah. Well, going towards the Elvis Down Under, there in Upper Hutt. So big shout out to Paul Finnick, and also the organisers, the beautiful. I've forgotten my wife's name, Kathy. Female. So we got married last year. And so what happened was, I've trying to learn all the songs, trying to learn the dance moves of Elvis, and just trying to keep even selecting the era. It was really hard for me. I only knew about 3 Elvis songs when I started, and now over the years, I'm pretty comfortable with the Elvis songs. But learning the dance moves was probably the hardest one. But the most exciting part of it was, I met up with my manager. So it was a couple of years back, and that made the difference with me, working towards winning the title. So, but also, the judges were there. So I do know that, I've learned over the years, you have to, first one, look like Elvis, which is, I'm always the opposite of that. I wish I looked like you, Stuey V. That'd be great. You also have to sound like Elvis and do the mannerisms of Elvis and the dance moves. So it was pretty hard. So I think I was really happy with with all the people there, all the Elvis fans, all the supporters, and me singing the songs as best as I could, because that's the only thing that I kind of really work towards is, singing
definitely.
Song of Elvis. And
back to your manager, obviously that's Del McFarlane Scott. She's helped you to build your career as well. There's this little bit of a funny snippet that I found. So have a watch this.
A little message to make your day from Pacific Elvis Entertainment. Don't worry. Be happy.
Don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry.
Be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
Have a great day, everyone.
Oh, yes.
I had to play it.
Yeah. See how when I first met her, she worked. She was a deputy principal at a school, and this school is a pretty tough school. And she was leaving. She wanted an Elvis tribute artist to come in. So it's the first time I met her. She rang me. She called me in, and I could see just the first time meeting her that she had a lot of love and respect for all the students and also for the staff. So there at that school, and then she asked me to come and perform at one of her birthdays, and then of course going into Viva Surfers Paradise, I did some of the shows, and that's where she came and supported me there. And then after that, then we had a talk. We had a cup of coffee, and I'm just learning. I've just met her, so I'm just getting to know her as a person. So that video of her having a laugh, don't worry, be happy. It was just good to see her, be relaxed on that side, because
exactly.
Sometimes it's always business,
Yeah, exactly. So she's an amazing lady as well. We've built a friendship as well over the last. I met Del for pretty much close to the first time at Viva as well last year, and we've built a friendship over then since then. And she usually sends my puppy dog presents from New Zealand, little toys all the time. So it's and if a parcel arrives, he's the first one that goes to the door because he expects it's for him. He's like a child, I tell you, unbelievable. Is Memphis here? Is Memphis anywhere here? Memphis, come on. Come here, boy. So I don't know if you've actually everyone's seen my little puppy. So I'd say little puppy, but really not a little puppy. He's quite a large size. So I'm going to bring him on to say hi to you, Johnny. Right, come here.
Yeah, great.
Memphis, come here. Come here, boy. Come here. Here he is. Sit. Hey. Sit. That's him there. He's he's a bit of a horse. Come here. He's a big boy. He's 100 kilos. He's a Great Dane. This is him here. He's a Great Dane, and he's a good boy. He's massive. He's massive.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. So give us
something in common with Memphis. I'm 100 kilos.
same weight. So he's a big boy. So we love him dearly, and we look after him. Hey, go on, mate. Go on. You can go now.
Nice.
So he's saying hello to everyone. Now, if viewers have got any questions for Johnny as well, yes, it's a Great Dane, Pearl. That's right. Heidi Serena said you're awesome, Johnny. We obviously lovely. Heidi said you're awesome. Vicky Ron said you're such a humble person, Johnny, and we have a great respect for you, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
Which is absolutely beautiful. So, if anyone's got any questions to Johnny, please ask them. Please feel free to ask them. Christina Galvin said you have grown so much, Johnny. Will always be your fan, and all love hearts as well.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Johnny. Rex Dryden said, I still have your scarf from last year's Viva. Gold Coast. Stay safe, Sheila D.
Oh, Sheila. Oh, yeah. Hello.
We are real proud. The Sandra's come on. We are really proud of you and Dell. You have a great team. A-team, they call you. The A-team.
Fantastic, Sandra. Thank you. Appreciate it. This is, I normally, personally, Stuey V, I'll just tell you, I don't like to bother, people. I just want, want people to get on with their lives and do their things and be happy in whatever they're doing in life. And I would never want to bother anybody. So hearing all these words and seeing people with their supportive, all their love and support, it means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. So, yeah, that's great.
So we've got a couple of questions. I've just found one. Let me just find it now. Patricia Oliver, are you coming back to Parks?
Parks, I love Parks Elvis Festival, and Patricia, I would love to return back if they invite me. That's my policy, is if I get invited to something, I will come. So if if they invite me, there's a great, I don't know if you know this young man. He's a good-looking young man in Australia. I don't know Stuey V if you know him. John Collins.
Who's that guy? Who's that guy? Anyone know Stuey V?
Paul Finnick.
Stuey V, where's Stuey
If
V?
they please, if you invite me back over, then Patricia, I'll come over and and do his best for Elvis and represent Elvis and Elvis's fans and come over and hopefully sing some songs.
Yeah, hopefully we'll definitely hopefully see you again. We've got all over the world as well. They're saying hello to you as well. Betty Peters, hello, Johnny from Nashville, Tennessee as well. She's watching all the way from
Tennessee. Wow, Betty,
right?
hi.
Yeah. So fantastic. Howdy. Yeah, howdy. Come to the National Elvis Fest. That's what Betty Peters has turned and said. So that will be
Nashville. Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, absolutely amazing, Johnny. Absolutely amazing. Now, you've also performed in Elvis in the Gardens for the last few years. You performed recently with Megan Bowker. We had her on the show not long ago. How was that? How was that feeling? I know Elvis in the Gardens is no longer. Is that correct?
Yes. So there was very sad news that the lovely Karen and Katrina Wynn. So much respect to them. They're the organizers of Elvis in the Gardens. Yeah, they unfortunately they posted that no longer on in Auckland. But yeah, you just mentioned the beautiful Megan. So it was great to perform with her and to sing with her. She is absolutely amazing, and it'll be nice to catch up with her again. Of course, we're in the lockdown, but I would love to if the Elvis in the Gardens was ever to happen again. To be honest, the Elvis in the Gardens, and of course there's Elvis in the Park. These were the shows that gave me the most exposure as I was starting. As I said before, I only knew like 3-4 Elvis songs, and we had the Memories of Elvis fan club asking me to come in Elvis in the Park, and I performed there. My confidence, kind of got a little bit better. And then I came into Elvis in the Gardens, and then I was getting a little bit more comfortable with the people. It's for the Elvis fans. So
that's right. Yeah, exactly.
Once they say to me like boo and throw bottles at me, then I'll get the sign and get the hint that I won't do it anymore. I won't sing Elvis.
That's when we put the chicken wire in front of a stage so it doesn't hit you.
Yeah.
Now, Karen Jones have come on and turned and said, why don't you wear jumpsuits more often?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've just got thank you, Karen. I do have, my manager has got a selection. I've got a selection of the 70s Elvis jumpsuits now. So as one of the, I think it was Dean Z, he was just saying he wanted, when he performs, he wanted to do it justice. And I've got the jumpsuits, but I just didn't want to put them on and just go walk on stage and just start singing. I wanted to learn the songs. I wanted to learn the moves, the mannerisms, and make sure. And then, Karen, I promise you, I'm one of the keys that everyone knows is ETA. You got to practice. So I'm going to practice, and I can wear the jumpsuits more often. And then hopefully, yeah.
Well, your manager has come online and turned and said, Delster, and said, you make people's hearts melt, Mr. Angel. Can you see that comment, Johnny? Can you see that?
Dal McFarlane Scott. Okay. You make people's heart melt, Mr. Angel. Okay. Well, but, first things first, and Stuey V, you and your beautiful wife, Shelley, much love and respect. Thank you for having me on, and it's amazing. It's just amazing.
No, it's been absolutely amazing so far having you on as well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow Johnny Angel, check out his Facebook page, Mr. Johnny Angel. Check him out definitely. He's going to be, we're all going to catch up with him again later on. And then we're going to get him back on the show later for a bit of a laugh as well. Look, Johnny, first and foremost, lastly, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. I really do appreciate your time. Give it all love to all the family over in New Zealand as well. And hopefully we get you on the show very, very soon again. Legend, please give Johnny some likes as well. Please throw some likes and love hearts up, as many as you can. I want to throw Johnny some love hearts and likes. I want to see them really build up. And Johnny, really, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And hopefully we can just catch up with you soon, all right?
Much love and respect, and Elvis. And God bless. Take care.
No problem. Take care. See you, Johnny. Take care. Legend, that was Johnny Angel, direct from New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand, and absolutely amazing guy. I've become very, very good friends with him over the last few years, and we've known each other for quite a while, which is great. You know, he'll come back on the show next time. We'll have a bit of a laugh. We're going to get these guys back on later and do little segments, laughing segments and little joke arounds and that sort of thing. So we've got other things planned for the future. Now, thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching my special guests that I had on the show, obviously, which is Dean Z, David Lee, and Mr. Johnny Angel himself. Now, if you're tuning in next week, please tune in next week. We've got some special guests for you coming live on the show. We've got Mr. Jeff Lewis. That's right, Mr. Jeff Lewis is going to be on the show. He is from, he runs a festival in Helen, Georgia called the Jeff Lewis and Friends. Very respected tribute artist in the industry. Very respected man. I got to know him in 2017 and I absolutely love him. So Jeff Lewis is going to be on the show next week. Also, we're going to have Jason Tuck Russo. That's right, Jason Tuck Russo. Jason is one of the world's best drummers for the Elvis music. He is a tribute to Ronnie Tutt. You can see him standing there with Ronnie Tutt now. He's a tribute to Ronnie Tutt. He will be on the show next week. He is the musical director and the drummer for the band called the Tributes in Concert, the TIC bands, Tributes in Concert Band. And they play all over the world. They played in Helen, Georgia for Jeff Lewis. They played in Nashville, or they were supposed to play in Nashville, but unfortunately it was cancelled this year. But they played all over the world. They played with Dean Z. They played with some amazing ETAs, and also obviously with Billy Joel tributes, Roy Orbison tribute, Aaron Mansfield, and he's an absolutely amazing band and amazing drummer. So please tune in next week for them too. Also, we have Sean Hamilton. He's an Elvis tribute artist, but also he's the founder of, or co-founder of Elvis United Live, Elvis United Live, which is a Facebook page, which a lot of ETAs are going live on that page as well. So if you get a chance to like the page and join the group, please go ahead. I will be doing a show on there in the next few weeks, as I have been invited by Sean to go on the page and do a show as well. So don't forget, next Friday, we've got Jeff Lewis, direct from the US. We've got Jason Tuck Russo, direct from Adelaide, but he's an amazing drummer as well, musical director for the Tributes and Concert Band, music director and drummer. And we've got Sean Hamilton, the co-founder of Elvis United Live, which is also amazing as well. Don't forget to like our page. Our page is basically a Friday Night Live show page. Please like the page, as the broadcast will go directly to there in the future. They are broadcast on my page and the Friday Night Live show page as well. So make sure you like that page and go on there. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, today, have an amazing Easter. But today, all day, there's an Easter show on. That's right, there was an Easter show on. Unfortunately, I haven't got the details up with me at the moment. But go and see DJ Anthony. Actually, I might see if I can actually open it and show you guys a picture. So bear with me. Bear with me. I'm going to open it now. So don't forget, next week we've got, I'm opening it now. Bear with me, guys. Let me get the details. It's a massive Easter weekend. It's raising money for the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne. That's right, the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne. It's raising money for them, for the Good Friday appeal. So make sure that you just doing a search now. Here we go. Running a little bit slow because I'm running everything in the background at the moment. So bear with me. I'm just trying to find it right now. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So let's open up a page. Let's open it, share a screen. Let's open up a page. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the show. Obviously, I'm going to go full screen and show you the show. So this is basically the show here. DJ Anthony, he is the Good Friday Appeal Rock with us. We've got people like Peter Daffy, Cheryl Sharkey, Rockin' Rick Child, the son Adrian. We've got James Bookman, Terry Lenderzon, Mark Newfus. We've got Matt Burst as well, and obviously DJ Anthony as well. So make sure you tune into that show. That's going to be going all day today. That's right. It's going to be going all day today. So make sure you tune into that and check it out. And please go ahead and donate to the Good Friday Appeal, raising money for the Melbourne Children's Hospital. And make sure you actually go ahead on that as well. Stop sharing the screen there. So that's the appeal that we want you guys to go and check out today. So once again, thank you so much for joining me on the Friday Night Live, which has been Friday Day Live. Next week's show, once again, we've got Jeff Lewis, direct from US. We've got Jason Tuck Russo, direct from Adelaide. And we've got Sean Hamilton, co-founder of Elvis United Live page. Remember, if you haven't liked the page yet, make sure you go onto my page and like the Friday Night Live show page with Stuey V, as the broadcast will be there eventually directly from there as well. Thank you so much, everybody. Love you all. I'm going to close over a few videos, obviously, of Memphis to give you an idea, just to close off the show today. And once again, thank you to all my guests, Dean Z, directly from Branson, Missouri, David Lee, directly from Birmingham, Alabama, and obviously the amazing Johnny Angel directly from New Zealand as well. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Have a beautiful Easter weekend, and love to all. And we'll see you very, very soon. See you guys.